Yuki. Choose where to go next. A mysterious patron. Volpain? Volpain needs money to help his father and the local miners. His friend Leo says there's someone in town with a very lucrative job offer. There was not much choice, was there? Welcome to Foretales. It's just an adventure game where you progress by combining cards and exploring decks. This is it. Volpain? I think it's Volpin, but my French is not there, so it's Volpain. Our ticket to the easy life. One last job, and our days of stealing apples from the market are behind us. That's what you said the last time, so who's this contact of yours? His name's Timothy. He says he has work for people like us. And you are sure he can pay? Because I could really do with the money right now. Don't worry, he promised a hefty reward. Should be more than enough to help your father and the miners with their strike. And for me to take an early retirement. He's just a little difficult to track down in town sometimes. You'd better ask around then.
He looks like a good place to start.
Okay, narrator louder, music lower. Environment lower. I'm clicking through the text currently, right? Yeah. We're looking for someone by the name of Timothy. Oh, I see. A very secret fellow, is he? I think I heard something about him the other day, but sadly my memory isn't what it once was. Right, and what might jog your memory, I wonder? A bite to eat usually does the trick. About 5 food should be sufficient. 5 food? That's enough to last a few days. Ignore my friend here. We'll come back with some food for you. The marketplace. Sight, sounds, and smells of the city life intermingle in this bustling hub of commerce. A great place to trade goods. An apple merchant. Don't be fooled by his jolly banter. He's as much a gossip as he is a merchant. Apples, fresh apples, no maggots in them or nothing. Gotta stop saying that out loud. Food, grim, fame, money. Cozy, that's a word, yes. Fame, a good deed can open many doors. Having the respect of the community is always a good way to achieve your goals. We could use that to gain 2 food here. Always happy to give a free sample to local celebrities. You hear that, Volpain? Celebrities. Yay,
those
apples.
are quite delicious when sautéed with a little honey. And if... No, you're right. We don't have time.
One very important rule to remember, you can only play 1 card per location card on the board. Sometimes it will transform the target card into another with that symbol, but most of the time it will just consume it and travel to the next card. A standard used card of the board will go back at the bottom of the exploration deck, which is over here. And once a slot is available, it will automatically be filled with the top card of the exploration deck. Can't run out of location cards to explore because the exploration deck always cycles. The poor district. The population here are in dire need of help, but can also offer assistance if they ask nicely enough. I could get 2 fame there. Or 1 florint. 1 gold, yeah.
Heartwarming stuff.
Feed the poor. Ooh.
Ah, Bandits! Lovely.
Beware, a hostile token is blocking this card. You won't be able to play any card on this suspicious street until you got rid of those bandits. If you click on the token, you can see the creatures forming the group and decide whether to engage or not. Most confrontations start with the negotiation phase. If you have the correct resources, you might discard this threat without any violence. But if you don't absolutely need to play here, you might as well try to avoid any conflict and play the other cards available. I love the art, that's why I picked it. I wasn't really sure about the gameplay. So let's buy some more food.
Maybe just dust the dirt off that one.
We got enough food. Let's see what this guy knows. Lead the way. Hey. You would spare a morsel of food for an old beggar? I wouldn't call 5 food a morsel. This is demanding work for an old man like me. I'd like to see you try it. Yeah, you'll get your food alright. This is one to watch for, I think. This could be good. Let's get started. Foretales is all about combining cards for unique and often surprising effects. You have 2 types of action cards at your disposal. Skill cards of your adventurers on the left, and consumable cards on the right. Targets will often be location cards, but not always. When you hover over one of your cards, the possible targets are highlighted along with hints as to what will happen if you play there. Take a moment to explore your current cards to see if you can figure out a way to find enough food to proceed. We did that already. I haven't checked these though. Eavesdrop. You can learn a lot when you take the time to stop and listen. Alright, we could get food here. Nothing. Yeah, this would switch around the card. Solidarity of the weak. The poor, the weak, and the needy must stick together to survive. Volpin can inspire compassion to attract potential allies. Could be more food. Eavesdrop. An aimed shot. Take out enemies from a distance. An old well. On the scent. Years in the wilderness have made Leo an outstanding tracker with a flair, sniffing out food and places of interest. Oh, interesting. But we'll wait. Thank you, young bird. Now about this Timothy chap. But of course, where are my manners? Here, follow this path.
That should show the way. Very kind of you, I must say.
Thanks for the tip, friend. Good day to you, bird. Well, what now? I suppose we should follow the old beggar's directions on that piece of paper. Sometimes you'll have to seek directions to progress in the story and reach new destinations. Check the description on your cards. Plop. Oh, bandits.
Friends of yours, Volpan?
Volpan? Not pain? Volpain. Volpan it is. Directions to Timothy. The old beggar has marked the map with Timothy's location. All Volpan needs to do is find the nearest marketplace and follow the directions from there. Aha! Now we need to get the marketplace back. So we're going to try an aimed shot. Like so. Right. Here are the enemies watching this location. A street thug, a henchman, and a brawler. Engage. Now this is combat.
Well, you can walk away from this richer, or not at all.
There's maybe no need for violence. We could haggle. You can bring the morale of the enemy group down and then they will flee. If you use an aggressive card, the confrontation will automatically turn into a fight. But if you don't have any cards to play or don't want to play any cards, click on auto battle and then, you know, go. There's auto battle, yes. Morale. When one of them leaves the battle or dies, his level is subtracted from the morale token. Ooh. Level 3, level 2, level 1. I see. When it reaches 0, the remaining enemies flee. So if I can get rid of them, that would do 3 damage, which is not enough to get rid of them. Eavesdrop would give me an extra attack for Volpan. Same here. This would make them flee. Yeah, I can combine this. They are fleeing. And then I can take an aim shot at him and we avoid fighting that one. Plump.
Oh, that looked painful.
Yes. You've brought the enemy morale to 0. All remaining hostiles will now flee for their lives. When you trigger a panic, each fleeing enemy will grant you 1 fame, whatever they level. So 3?
Oh, not so tough now, are we?
Ah, whatever they level, so 1, okay. Nice! We got 2 Grim cards. A reputation like that guarantees respect among outlaws and makes law-abiding citizens quake in their boots. Suspicious street. It's an obvious trap. Right. We don't have... We could change the well to something different and move to the noisy tavern. Here. Would you look at that? A gold coin. Good. Leo? What? I'm hungry. Rallying cry. An inspiring call to arms that draws out potential allies in the area. We would gain fame in both. And would move to a small crowd on both. Eavesdrop would just move forward, but to the bladesmith's hideout. Here we would get food and move to the next location. Let's do that. We have another eavesdrop card. This looks like a good spot to refill our canteens. Okay. Yeah, or like he's hungry. I thought he was just munching. Looks like a yawn, doesn't it? I like the bandits, by the way. They look really awesome. There's the marketplace. Now, follow directions of the beggar.
Outstanding!
A heavily bandaged figure stood alone in the alleyway. He looked like he was waiting for someone. As Volpen and Leo approached, the figure turned to greet them. Ah, Leo, so you're finally here, and you brought a crow. I'm a shoebill. But of course you are. We heard you have work. Do I ever? But before we get down to brass tacks, I always like to get an understanding of who it is I'm working with. What do you mean? I like a demonstration of the value you'll bring to this operation. A demonstration? Yes, you know, skills, my boys. Show me your skills. The pair looked at each other, perplexed. What did it mean, skills? Skills in combat, sleight of hand, or maybe just a good old trick shot from Leo? By scanning through the cards in your hand, you'll be able to determine which ones can be played in the current situation. The card in hand will always highlight the game board elements on which it can be played. By hovering over your cards and choose which one to play on Timothy. A peppery diversion. Incapacitate enemies. Oh, does that mean I draw 2 cards? Eavesdrop? We could shoot him. Could we murder him? Oh, I can use food on my guys. They heal then. Alright. We could... I guess this is not a combat, but we show our skills, right? In one seamless motion, Leo pulled out his bow and let fly an arrow straight at the leper. Timothy felt a whoosh of air as the hat flew clean off his head. By the time he turned around, it was already pinned to a nearby tree. How's that for a demonstration? A little dramatic, but a fine shot nonetheless. Timothy turned around, picked up his hat, and placed it carefully back on his head. Well, I've certainly seen enough to pique my interest. Then perhaps you could tell us what it was you needed. I would like for the two of you to acquire an item for me. A very rare and beautiful lyre currently in the possession of Lady Foretales. You mean the old bat who lives in the hill? On the hill? I wouldn't call her that to her face. But, yes, that's her. I'd like you to break into her manor, steal the lyre, and bring it to me at the Holy Grove. The Holy Grove? I know the place well. I'll get you there myself, Volpen. Excellent, then I shall leave you to it. Alright, we got a job to do at long last. We can get straight to it if you think we're ready to go. Or we could spend some more time on the streets to prepare. It's your call. Remember, you only have a limited number of skill cards in your adventurer's deck. Spending too many of their skill cards will tire them out. If you want to recover some skill cards, you will have to use rest cards on the right side of the board. Each rest card has its own set of effects and sometimes a price that you can decide to pay or not. Read carefully what they do. Ah, the cards are very pretty. Rest. An uneventful stop. Recover up to 3 skill cards per adventurer. Yeah.
Are you quite finished? We've got an apocalypse to avert.
Feeling better already. You recovered some skill cards and suffered no other consequences. Don't expect it to be so easy very often. The next card in the deck will cost you food or health points. And the last card of the rest deck is always a game over. So be sure to check out how many times you can hope to rest in a region. Once you move on to the next region, the rest deck will be replaced with a new set of cards. And the number of rest cards in the next region is independent of how many you've used here. And then you continue. That's very cool. Cozy is a good word to describe this. Quite unique is another word to describe this. I like the look and the feel of it a lot. And I think that is already enough from me. You can discover the rest on your own. Very good first impression. I think it's going to hold up to that for the rest of the game. Yeah. I wish the narrator would do more, but then again, maybe that's too much then. Obviously, that can get too much soon. But they are doing a good job, so... Very good. Foretales is a bit of a weird name for this. Cancel the mission. But, yeah. The relic. So there are different missions that you can play. Oh, hello. Okay. It's more than one. Yeah. So finally I managed to get one on your wish list, huh? I had quite a few of you guys mention it, that you put this or that game on a wish list, and that is always such a big success for me. Of course, you might have found the game without my help, but oftentimes I would think that it is actually my going through all the silly stuff so that you don't need to. And you can pick up something nice for the wishlist or directly buy it if it's available.